Hey, what's going on everybody? It's your Fly Tech guy Mark, and today we're going to talk about frame rates. It's a very confusing topic, but I'm going to try and help you out right here. So in this video, we're going to be focusing on 3 different frame rates. 24 frames per second, 30 frames per second, and 60 frames per second. So frame rates allow us to set the style and the viewing experience of the video that we are creating. Now, there's no set frame rate to use that is perfect. It is entirely up to you. There's no perfect frame rate. Like I said, it is up to you on which you want to use in your video. 24 frames per second gives you that more realistic image with motion blur than say 60 frames per second. 30 frames per second does sort of the same thing, but a little bit less motion blur, and then obviously 60 frames per second gives you that buttery smooth image with nearly any motion blur. Now, 60 frames per second is used in most sporting events, and if you're trying to slow something down, say from 60 frames per second to 30 frames per second, which is something I love to do, it has really clear slow motion video. Now, you can't really do this with 30 frames per second or 24 frames per second. It will actually skip frames sometimes, and it won't look as smooth as, say, if you went 60 to 30. A good trick to use when messing with frame rates is taking a, say, 60 frame rate per second video and dropping it into a 24 frames per second timeline. This will give you that motion blur that you're looking for, but it will also slow the video down if it was 60 frames per second. But if you shoot 30 frames per second and you put it in a 24 frames per second timeline, it may not look as different as a 60 and a 24 would. It would look more like the 24, but you wouldn't get a little bit of choppiness that you may experience when shooting at 24 frames per second. So, final consensus is whatever you want to shoot, cinematic, not cinematic, slow motion, not slow motion, choose the frame rate that you think is going to best suit your video. 24 is mostly cinematic. 30, you can capture cinematic. Like I said, put it into a timeline that's 24 frames per second and it'll look very good. And or 60 frames per second, you can do the same thing with that timeline. Now, if you're a YouTuber like me, I like to just shoot everything at the highest frame rate possible because it'll capture the most detail, but obviously not going above that 60 frame rate per second mark, or else it'll look way too fake. So I like to just produce the best quality video that I can do, so I put it at the highest frame rate. But there are times where I put it at a slower frame rate and capture a more cinematic shot, but I really like to use 60 frames per second. Let me know what you guys like to use. Let me know what you guys think. I know this is going to start a big controversy, but you know what? That's why we're here. That's what we talk about, and let's see what you guys say in the comments below. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys like it. It's your Fly Tech guy, Mark, and I'll see you guys in the next one.